Last week I did something a bit crazy. I set myself a challenge to paint every single day, and these are the results. I started with an oil painting. It was actually a collaboration I did over on my Instagram, and me and my art peers have decided to create something within the theme of unusual colors. So after I had a bit of a think about it, I decided I wanted to do a landscape. And what's more unusual than green clouds? I think you can see any other color in the sky but green. So I was priming my canvas at the beginning and trying to get the base colors of the painting, and then I started creating my clouds. I did have a bit of a reference picture. It was a picture I have taken of my back garden, and we had this very beautiful sunset. You'll see later on that I actually changed my mind a bit. So initially this was meant to be like an urban scene, so the foreground would have been like a house and a lamppost and a fence, but as I was doing this I realized it wasn't fitting, and then I had a bit of a break. I started getting hungry, so I had an egg custard, so that was very fun. This is where I changed my mind, and I thought it would look really nice as a seascape. So I just took my sketchbook and did a few variations of it and decided of the best composition for the painting. And yeah, this is the end result. It was quite a bit of a challenging one because I haven't worked on such a big size in a very, very long time. But it was really fun. I definitely want to go back to working on bigger pieces. And it was very enjoyable. Next day, I didn't have quite as much time, but I was on a walk with my partner and I saw snowdrops for the first time. And in my country, snowdrops represent a very important sign of the coming of spring. And sometimes they are gifted to women on 1st of March as a sign that spring is coming and winter is over, because these are the first flowers you see when the weather starts getting warm again. A lot of the times you will see them coming out of snow blankets, and yeah, it's a very nostalgic memory to me, so I wanted to capture that. First of all, I did a bit of a sketch, and after that I decided I wanted to paint them. I actually had in mind to make a card because it was one of my acquaintance's birthday coming up, and I just wanted to give her something handmade because she really, really appreciates art. So I used a bit of a minimal palette with just greens and blues, and I just wanted it to be a bit more illustrative, so I did this water marbling in a way, let's call it, and yeah, I cut it up into the right shape, and I was thinking of choosing right background for it, so I went for this yellow card I had in the house laying around, and yeah, that's pretty much the end result. With the next painting I've done, I've actually kind of upcycled on all the painting, which you can see here. I really didn't like that. I didn't like it when I made it, and I like it even less now. So I was thinking, instead of just laying around in my bedroom, I will just paint on top of it. And I wanted to keep a bit of the original of it, but the more I thought about it, the more I wanted a different composition. Then I really wanted to have a house around, and yeah, with just a bit of a reference in mind, I started with my house. I didn't like that, so I scrapped it and did it again, and then I just ended up doing these hills in the distance, and then I gave the house another go on a much smaller scale. And I wanted to play with the sky again because I really enjoyed the sky in the first painting I did this week. So yeah, I wanted to give that another go, and I quite enjoyed it. And again, another seascape, this time a bit more realistic in terms of composition, not really in terms of colors. And this is pretty much the end result. Unfortunately, I used a bit too much oil on the top and it started leaking down, but I like it. It kind of looks like rain. On the same evening, actually, I was really motivated. So I wanted to improve my technique with oils a bit, and I went onto YouTube and I typed in, I think it was absolute beginners oil painting, and this video came up. I'll put the name of the creator on the screen because I can't remember at the top of my head. And it was just a really easy still life of an apple, and I quite enjoyed it. The end result was meant to be like this really blended and more like academic style, but I think I was using some different brushes than the person on the video, so mine had very prominent brush strokes, and I really liked that, so I didn't want to blend it out, and I kind of stopped following the tutorial and went my own way. I'm quite satisfied with it, and it was a very good video if you want to start with oils. Usually I have my canvas primed with some linseed oil and some white, but with this one I didn't use any medium at all. I wanted to give this another go because I think practice makes perfect, and by just doing one painting in one style and then leaving it there, you won't be able to improve as much. So straight away I looked up on Pinterest. So yeah, I chose this really interesting pear and bottle still life, and yeah, I really like the colors, and I tried the same technique. Somehow it didn't end up quite as good as the apple, but I think it got to a point where I overworked the painting. The brush strokes are not as prominent as in the apple, and I was working actually on this on multiple days, so I would work for a bit in the morning and then work on something else, and then next day I'll work a bit more on it and work on something else. I was struggling a bit with it, but it was very fun. I would like to do this again, where I don't overwork the painting, and I think sometimes doing it in one go also helps. Then Saturday rolled around and I was visiting some family, but I really wanted to keep going with this challenge, so I packed my watercolors with me and did just a few observational studies. They had some really lovely flowers and I had a go at that, and then I painted some of my family members. On the last day of the challenge, I wanted to keep pursuing oils, and I thought the next challenge for me would probably be a portrait. This was meant to be a self-portrait. I think I could have done a better job at that, but I wasn't so much focused per se on the anatomy of the face. I wanted to be more focused on the brush strokes. I ended up okay. I think I should have stopped here, but I decided I don't like the tones I was using for the skin, so then I tried to change it up a bit, and you'll see at the end I kind of just messed it up. I should have left it as it was, but I'm still quite proud of the eye. Yeah, the eye on the right, I think I did a pretty good job with that. So even though the whole portrait is not the best, I think I painted a good eye. And the hair, I think it's quite nice as well. So yeah, this is where I should have left it. And this is what happened after I overworked it. So yeah, this is the end. Painting every single day for a week. I hope you enjoy watching this. I had a lot of fun doing this challenge. Do you have any other suggestion for challenges? Let me know in the comments, and like and subscribe. Bye!